This one's a doozy because we're going to talk about our favorite waitress, Alexandria Occasional Cortex, otherwise known as the Socialist Supreme in Congress. By now, we know what she wants. She wants a pay raise. No, not just $45, not $450. She wants $4,500 added to her substantial $175,000 congressional job that pays $175,000 a year. I meant to say. You know, we ordinary American citizens, hardworking American citizens, would love to have a $175,000 job without the overtime. And let's look at her accomplishments, shall we? What has she done in 5 months? Notice that, though. 5 months. She's only been at the job for 5 months, not 5 years, not a whole year, not even half of a year, which is 6 months. 5 months already pushing for a pay raise. And her accomplishments are, you ready? Costing her own constituents in New York 27,000 jobs from Amazon, costing billions of dollars in money and tax revenue. Then she has the nerve to sit there and say American citizens want pay raises. Yeah, no fooling, kid. We all want pay raises. But you know what Americans want that provide those pay raises? Jobs. 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 The same jobs that you cost for your own constituents when you messed up the entire Amazon deal, kid. And then she has the nerve to sit there and say that, oh, I'm going to do some insider trading. Newsflash, insider trading is illegal. Then she wants to turn to lobbyists for extra pay. Hold on, back that up. Alexandria, do you not remember when you were criticizing President Trump about his economic policies and that his economic policies aren't the reason why people in America has all these jobs and the economy is booming? You said that people have 2 jobs. And you just say anybody. You said everybody has 2 jobs. Well, here's a hint, lady. You want a pay increase? Get yourself a second job. I'm trying to help you here, really. Don't do insider trading. Illegal. Very illegal. Just out there. And here's another thing about Alexandria Occasional Cortex. She had the audacity to compare ICE detention centers to World War II concentration camps. There's a video out there, and I don't know if it's still circulating, but it's from Candace Owens, where she went to an ICE detention center somewhere in Florida. I can't remember the city. But what she said and what she gave as a report was appalling. I mean, they get yoga classes. They get medical care. They get to play the PlayStation. They get to have samba classes. They get to have health care. They get 3 meals and snacks. Hell, those detention centers, concentration camps, are better than most of our public schools. All right, enough of the sarcasm. Alexandria, you had the audacity to talk about World War II concentration camps here in America. Do you know who did that? FDR. And FDR was quite honestly a socialist. He didn't put an end to the Great Depression. World War II did. He wanted to extend the Great Depression. But the little circumstance called World War II got in the way. So he had no choice but to put people to work. Who else was going to build the tanks and the aircraft carriers and the airplanes that help fight this war and put the bullets in the guns and create the guns? Yeah, not people on welfare, people working. And let's talk about those concentration camps. Who was in those concentration camps? Japanese. And FDR was not fond of Japanese people. He was quite frankly racist against them. The actual term of racism against Japanese. And I'm not afraid of YouTube's algorithms because he called them he called them Japs. And that's exactly what they were called back in the 1940s. Japs. Historical context here, people. He also put Italians. More, and people sit there and say he also did Germans. Not so fast. Germans, yeah, but not to the extent of Japanese and Italians. And listen, I'm not stereotyping here. I grew up in Jersey, and I met Italians darker than me. Germans are as white as you can possibly get. Italians, they're a mixed breed. That's why you had more Italians in concentration camps than you had Germans. We're not even, like I said, Japanese, they're like me. I'm Asian, okay? We're yellow-skinned people, and he did not like yellow-skinned people. And what was FDR? That's right, a Democrat. Why can't somebody put a muzzle on Alexandria? I mean, she makes it so easy to come at her with facts. So get your facts right, Alexandria. Don't compare ICE detention centers, which is basically heaven, to all these illegals coming over here. They don't get that over there in Honduras and Guatemala and Mexico and El Salvador. No, that's like a whole new world to them. And before you say anything about the separation of families, let me give you a little something here. Separation of families, let's go. Let's talk about, which nobody talks about, legal immigrants that come here to America and do it the right way. They come here, they assimilate, and they work their butt off. They do what they can and save up the money to go get a lawyer, to bypass all the immigration red tape, to bring their families here. For example, a legal immigrant from their country of origin will leave their child who is 2 years old. And by the time they get their family, their wife or their husband and their children here, that 2-year-old kid could either be 7 or 12 years. Because that's how long the process is. All the red tape that legal immigrants got to go through just to be legal. Just to do it the right way. And what nobody talks about is how do we reward those people who come here legally? How do we get rid of the red tape? How do we bypass the financial burdens to bring their families? And you want to talk about separation at the border? And you want to talk about this manufactured crisis? Listen, it is a manufactured crisis. Hear me out. When you got tens of thousands of people coming from South America, Central America, and Mexico, and bum rushing our borders, overloading our borders, they are creating a humanitarian crisis. They are straining our border patrol and our ICE detention centers. And oh, by the way, we have a catch and release program here in America. You didn't know that, Alexandria? You didn't know that Obama signed into law that you only can keep them for 3 weeks and then set them free into American society? Hey, here, on your honor, come back on this court date and we'll see you then after they get the release after being detained for 3 weeks. And you already know damn well they're not coming back. Oh, by the way, name a concentration camp that gives medical care, food, 3 square meals a day, yoga classes, Zumba dances, place to play their Xbox and PlayStation. Yeah, because you know what? Concentration camps back in the 1940s, especially out there in World War II Europe, they were death traps. They were put there, they were experimented on, they were put in gas chambers, and they were shot and put in mass graves. And you want to call ICE detention center concentration camps where these illegal immigrants come here to America and get the best care possible? Shut your face.